Okay, so I figured I'd go through the party pad. I hope everyone has seen the party pad presentation, has done the party pad presentation, but I figured I would go through it and kind of, I don't know, show you how I do it, I guess. Maybe I say things differently or whatever than what you do. So you can take notes on that. And we can also answer your questions then about products and talk about the steps to success and talk about charting to Ruby and answer any questions kind of along the way. So guys, feel free to answer questions. First, I wanted to kind of introduce myself and talk about how I got to this table today. It's been kind of crazy the last couple years. But before I started with It Works, I was a physical therapist assistant. I was working. I was going back to school so I could go back to grad school. I had no intentions of ever working from home or having a home-based business. I was, I don't know, busy with life. 2 little kids and working a lot, and I was not one for doing home parties. I actually hated doing home parties. I wouldn't do them for my friends who did sell things like Mary Kay, and I have lots of friends who do other things, and I was like, no, I won't host a party for you. I was that person. It's embarrassing to say. So I didn't want to do that type of thing. I did not like public speaking. I did not like being the center of attention in a room of people like this. This would have killed me a couple years ago. I would get nervous, my face would turn red. Even in a group of like 5 people, I would be like freaking out, and then I'd feel myself getting nervous, and I'd get more nervous, and just wouldn't want to do it. So hated that type of thing. So I never wanted to do parties or be in front of people. Just wasn't my thing. I was not outgoing. My husband is the outgoing one. He's the one with the business management degree and experience. You know, physical therapy has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with sales. You know, that was my husband's thing. So when this was kind of put in front of me and I expressed some interest in it, I was like, that's not me. I can't do that. I could never sell anything. I could never do parties. I could never, like, I don't know. But I was passionate about the health. I was passionate about helping others improve their health and do it in a natural way. And I was passionate about toning my tummy because I had 2 kids. And it didn't matter how much I exercised and worked out, you know, I had the extra skin. And I love that the wraps fill in the empty spot, because I was Googling tummy tucks and they're over $7,000. And I was like, I'm never going to have that kind of money. So it brought me to trying the wrap and then signing up, because I didn't have the money to even sign up as a little customer really at the time. I was working, at the time I was working part-time, so I could be home with my kids, but financially that wasn't enough for us. So my friend was selling these wraps and she's like, oh, I'm making enough to pay my car payment every month. And I was like, wow, if I could pay my car payment each month, then I can continue to be part-time. So my husband's, behind me going, get a full-time job, just go back to work. And I was like, yeah, but then like I'm paying someone else to raise my kids. Like I'm not there with them. And I hated that thought. It killed me. So I tried the wrap and it worked. And I was like, well, let's give this thing a shot. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember signing up and the very next day going, oh my gosh, Micah, what did I do? I'm quitting. I'm done. I was like, I cannot do this. I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm done. I didn't want to post on Facebook. I didn't want to do any of that type of stuff. So, but I was like, well, I've already paid the $99 we couldn't afford. So I've got to at least get that money back. So I've got to do something. So I got to work. And it's definitely been worth it. So that's kind of how I got started in a nutshell. Yeah. All right. So I'll go through this party pad. I believe everyone here has everyone here tried that? Have you tried that? Are you familiar with the products or anything at all? No, not really.
Nope. Yeah. It's all brand new.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, poor baby. Okay.
You just have an extra party pad. I'm embarrassed to say I forgot to bring mine.
Let me look. Realize that mine are all falling apart. And really, I will say also, I do not pass out party pads at parties. Like, I don't have a stash of them at home. I don't have my dry wrap in here. I don't pass out party pads at parties. When I started, I didn't have enough money to go buy another pack of these things because you get one in your starter kit, so that's what I use. And I actually learned from Lydia Diaz to cut it apart and laminate each piece, and then you can just flip through it, and you can even pass each piece around if you want to, if you keep them separate, rather than buying a whole bunch of them. It kind of saves you money. So you can laminate it, and she said she would just laminate it and then just, around the room, just like preschool class reading a book for fun. Like you're just gonna show them the pictures. So I don't buy a stack and pass them out at parties. Save you money. Okay, so party pad. I use this for parties, obviously. I use the party pad anytime I'm meeting one-on-one with somebody who's interested in the products or in the business. I use this when I'm on the phone with somebody explaining it. I'll get out my party pad and sit there and go through it. It keeps me from forgetting, from missing, from blabbering on forever. It kind of keeps me on track. So I use it for everything. My first party, like I said, I was really nervous about talking in front of people. So my first party, I didn't prepare very well. And I got this thing out. There's only 2 people at my house, thank goodness. And I was a mess. I was all over the place. I had no idea what I was saying. My mom teases me that she wishes she had recorded it because it was so humorous. Thanks, Mom. After that party, I went, I've got to study and prepare and figure out what in the world I'm doing. So I watched a YouTube video of one of the top income earners of the company doing the party pad presentation, and I wrote notes. And I listened to her video and watched her video, and I would rewind and redo it and rewind and redo it and wrote down like everything she said. And then my next couple parties, I would read off the thing, whatever she said. Because I figured if she's doing this and making tons of money, then I'm going to say things the same way she does because it must work for her. So that's the way I'm going to do it, right? I would read. And if you take it like this and you flip it, then you can read, and then people can look at it while you read the back. Does that make sense? I've done it enough times, I haven't memorized, I don't have it written on here anymore, but I did for the longest time. I had everything written out, and I would just read it off. So I encourage you to do that until you get really comfortable with it. Okay, so the first page, it's easy, it's fun. You can take the wrap and you can put it anywhere from your shin to your toes, which is awesome. Because not everybody wants to tone their belly. Some people might want to do their thighs or their love handles, or maybe it is their chin or their arms, and you can take the wrap and literally put it anywhere. So since I didn't bring my dry wrap, unless I left it at the party. Okay. I always hold out the dry wrap because if there's people there who haven't tried a wrap or don't have it on, I want them to see this is what it looks like. I can even feel it and things as well. You can cut it in half. You can wrap your chin this way. Or if you want, you can actually get 6 wraps out of this. Did you guys know that? You can cut it up, small pieces, and do 6 wraps, and then just save it in a Ziploc baggie so you can do your next 10 wraps. Hips, inner thighs, arms, anywhere you want for your results, right? And then 45 minutes is all it takes to tone, tighten, and firm the skin. The majority of people do see results in just 45 minutes. But some people need a little bit of extra time, and that's great because the wraps are actually going to continue to work for 3 days, right? So you're going to see better results in 3 days. I know Abby's sister was one that was like 45 minutes. We were like, oh, no, I don't think I see any results. And 3 days later, it was like, oh my gosh, wow. Results were amazing. And I love that about the wraps. Everyone's just a little different. Our bodies are different, so we wrap a little bit different to it. Some people, like I said, 45 minutes and they get jaw-dropping results. Some people need maybe a little bit more time or even a second or third wrap. So it just depends on our bodies, how we react to it. But that's also why we get 4 in a box. When you buy a box of wraps, you're gonna get 4. You're gonna wait 3 days between each one to do the wraps. Any questions? Okay. Next page, this is what it does. Tone, tighten, firm the skin, helps with cellulite, amazing. For stretch marks as well, that was something I didn't expect. But I am covered in stretch marks in my belly from my pregnancies. And the wraps really made a big difference for those. So, and I actually noticed a difference in those before I started noticing my skin tone and firm. It really wasn't until after my 3rd wrap that I started seeing the difference in my skin as well. That makes sense. And this company is incredible. This is the only place you're going to find this wrap. You can't get it anywhere else, and that makes our company so unique from any other company because you can't go to Target or Walmart and buy the same product that we offer. You can only get it from distributors like us. So that makes you very unique. You have a product people want that they can't get anywhere else. I mean, their other option is liposuction or tummy tuck, which, like I said earlier, is over $7,000. So this is extremely affordable compared to those very expensive procedures. Questions? Okay. Little customer page. I always like using this page as a time to talk about some of the products. I like passing around the defining gel and let people sample that and talk about it a little bit. Sampling the grains, doing the fat fighter demonstration. Has everybody seen the fat fighter demonstration? Yes, yes, yes. Have you do it at parties? I always suggest doing it at parties because that really draws a lot of attention and people are kind of wowed by the fact that they can see how it works in a jar. So the fat fighter demonstration is really great. And then I don't go over every product. When I first started, I did. My parties were really long. I don't go over every product in the product catalog, but I will encourage everyone at the party to open it up. You know, what products pique your interest? Do you have any questions? And then I'll point out a few of my favorites, like the Confianza, one that I have to take every day to keep myself focused and de-stressed. Or the hair, skin, and nails, which is a very popular product that everybody seems to love, helping the hair grow longer and stronger and all those things. What are some of your product questions or favorite products that you guys have? Product testimonies?
Love the greens. Like thermo. I love it all. I do greens.
Greens.
Can't feel like I'm running out. And I'm like drink because I do it twice a day.
Okay.
And then we'll do it once a day. So I'm saving my stash. And I'm like exhausted.
What difference do you see? Energy, like you're saying?
Energy. I have a headache right now. I can't sleep.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I need it twice a day. Because I'm drink. I don't drink coffee, so greens is my coffee.
Yeah. That's cool.
She made Profit bars.
Yeah.
And we cut them up and used them for one of the parties that she did that I was downstairs helping her with. They were amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all like, what are the ingredients? So peanut butter,
Was-
honey.
Was it the Energy
flour.
Bite recipe?
The one that I posted about, I have no idea.
It tastes like it's like a peanut butter
peanut
bar.
butter.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
But it's using the vanilla Profit.
Yeah.
And they're
No
fantastic.
baking, you just
Yeah.
put it all together.
Yeah, there's one like that I've made. Yeah.
One of my new favorites.
I make them a lot before I travel because when I'm in the car for a long period of time, I want to like munch on something, and I'm like, I'd rather munch on that than, you know, M&M. Which would be my other option. Well, yeah. I don't know. Those are really good. The energy bars or bites or however you want to call them. Yeah.
One of the things I love the defining gel. I have a tattoo that is well over 10 years old and was faded and used that defining gel on it. You saw the picture.
Yeah.
It brought all the color back within a week of just using it. It brought
That's
all
awesome.
of the color back to my tattoo without having to go and pay money and
Yeah. All right. Get the color put back in. So that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen some amazing results with tattoos.
Worked really well on sunburn too. I was at a music festival on Thursday last week and got major sunburn on my shoulders and put it on that night, and the next day it was just gone.
Yeah. Sunburn.
It's ginger in it.
It was. That's all.
He was amazed every time he saw him. I was like,
Yes. Yeah, the Define Gel, I got burned so burned. Oh my gosh. My husband did a triathlon and I was outside all day for 2 days straight and it was like 100 degrees outside and I was just red. I was like, I'm not putting up sunblock on. I was using SPF 50, but it still like didn't seem to be enough. Defining Gel, like 2 days later, I was all tan. I didn't peel, like nothing. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. Because normally I end up, letting peels on. It's like, and you're blotchy and you're like, oh, great. So gross. Anybody else? Product questions? Any products that you're like, I've never tried this one. Okay.
Maybe not so much a question, but a concern. I took Confianza, like the whole 2 tablets before work one day because I knew it was our test weekend. I was gonna be so stressed at work, so I took them. And it calmed me down that day. But the next day, I was the meanest person whatsoever. You think all my stuff got bottled up until the next day? Like I was so.
I don't know. I've never experienced this.
It was bad.
She was really mean to me.
But
I didn't do anything.
Maybe you should have taken more the next day. I don't know.
I'm excited to try the bleachless one because I had hair down to like below my butt and I just got it cut off. So now I can actually try it out for real.
Yeah, you're ready to try it and see. That's awesome. See your results. Take some pictures. Yeah.
What about skin allergies? Yeah, people that are really sensitive skin. I mean, like wicked sensitive skin.
With like the defining gel and stuff.
What was like any of these products?
The products don't have any.
I mean, there's like these dyes, so like no dye, like.
The products are made with botanical.
Baby stuff to like wash our clothes with. I mean, like my family is very.
Yeah.
Skin allergy. Big time.
That's one of the great things about our product. This is you can hear something. Products are made of botanical ingredients, so there's no harmful additives and things in them.
So there's not like an added fragrance or anything?
Nope, none of that. It's all natural fragrance. Like the fragrance of it is from the natural ingredients in it. Yeah.
From the stuff that you use.
Yes. So.
So you don't have an issue with like.
No, and I have a lot of people who are very sensitive who love our facial cleanser and love our defining gel and stuff like that because they don't.
That's a big concern because my boys are getting older and preteens and acne and I can't find acne wash that's not breaking their faces out.
It's not making it worse. Yeah. Now I've seen.
I mean, not so much as like they'll get pimples, but they break out in a rash.
Okay, yeah, from being sensitive to
Like a rosy rash.
I've seen really good results with the hair, skin, and nails, like that acne stage, and then also with like the cleanser and the exfoliator and facials and things like that as well. So, but they are made so that people with sensitive skin. I've never had an issue. The only time I've had somebody like that couldn't use a defining gel is she was allergic to one of the herbs in it. Yeah, it was. I don't know. She couldn't use a rhapsody, but she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm allergic." I forget what it was, just like the main ingredient. She was like, "I can smell that in the bottle." I was like, "Yeah, don't touch it." I was like, "I don't need you like swelling up and breaking out." But she knew to look for it beforehand, so that was obvious.
It's usually just really strong fragrances. It's like the flowers type thing.
And those are all those added fragrant.
Yeah,
Man, I can't talk. No, that's okay. I've heard recently a lot of times they add those into lotions and things to cover up other chemicals and stuff and gross things that are in there that they have in the product. So when you find a product that doesn't have any added fragrances, I can't say it at all. It's because they don't have any gross, weird additive animal byproduct or something gross in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's it, right? Yeah. I was talking to me recently about that.
And I like
I was like, oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, and I like to stay really natural too because they don't even put sunscreen. And sunscreen technically is a chemical.
Yeah.
They like to put that into their the preventative things every day.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the pool every night, so I have to remember to put sunscreen on. But yeah. So that's
Yeah, they don't have any weird.
very, very natural products.
Any other products you guys have questions about?
I have a question about the benefit.
Sure.
I just took it for one day,
Okay.
and I don't know if I mean, it kept me up, like, I couldn't sleep.
Did you take it in the morning or when
I
you?
took it in the morning, because it's one like 2 times a day, right? So I took it in the morning and I took it at lunchtime. And it made me feel like,
Yes, it definitely gives you energy.
Yeah.
When I take it, I feel like I took a double shot of espresso. So I cannot take it in the evening. And like the other night, okay, so my husband takes Thermo. He also takes the New You daily. And he gets in bed and it's like midnight. He's like, wide awake. I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I think I accidentally took a Thermo instead of a New You. I was like, I'm wide awake. And it's because, yes, it does definitely, like, for us to wake us up.
so maybe just once a day with that.
Do it in the morning.
I did it in
Yeah.
the morning, I did it at lunchtime, and then like I could not. It was like wide awake at 2 in the morning. Like,
Oh, even at lunchtime?
Yeah.
Now you said, and you don't do coffee or anything else, so you might be a little more sensitive, so you might need to do it just in the morning, because, yeah.
I drink a lot of coffee
Yeah,
and
like
I do
first.
go to bed twice a day. And I wish caffeine would affect me, but it really doesn't. But I do notice a little bit with
And it doesn't normally because, I mean, I don't drink coffee or anything, but I mean, I used to drink soda, and I mean, I have to get like Mountain Dew and stuff to keep me going. But the thermal thing, I'm just like, okay, it's gotta be the thermal. I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on here.
It will give you energy. I remember the first time I took it, I was still working. I took it in the morning, and I think I took 2 and drank it with my greens. I got to work and I was like, seriously, I was like, what's wrong with me? And I was like running around, like doing everything. Everyone's like, Bonnie, like, how much coffee did you drink? Because I'm not a big coffee drinker either. They're like, how much coffee did you drink? I was like, I didn't drink any coffee. They're like, why are you wired? And then finally I was like, oh, I was like, or greens, not energy. Oh gosh. Yeah. So yes.
I absolutely love the thermal fit and how much energy it gives me when I take it. Also, I'm the same way. I can only take it at breakfast, and I can take it at lunch, and I'll be okay. But if I take it like at dinner, no.
Yeah. Yeah. New You.
Better.
New You increases exercise endurance and builds lean muscle mass. So my husband is an athlete, does a lot of triathlons, biking, running, swimming, and everything. So for somebody that's big into working out, it's great for them because instead of taking those pre-workout things, they can take the New You instead. My husband, before I ever knew about It Works, used to drink those pre-workout things, and they were like neon blue, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, that cannot be good for you. I was like, I do not want you to drink this up. Like, one of these days, you're gonna be like, oh, it causes cancer. You know, I'm like, stop drinking it, and it drove me nuts. So as soon as we got to this company, I was like, you need to take the New You. I was like, and get rid of that other stuff. So, and he definitely has seen a big difference. He's lost, I don't know, 20 to 30 pounds.
Does it make him feel like pre-workout work? Does it make him feel like
No.
I'm ready to go?
energized.
So he sleeps like a rock. Because the New You actually take, it's like 1 in the morning and 2 at night. And he sleeps really soundly with it. And when he gets up in the morning, he feels like he's up and ready to go. And he gets up at 5 o'clock to go swim every morning. So, and he used to be like the person that would like lay in bed. And, I gotta get out of bed to get to work and that type of thing. But he does. He's up and ready to go with it. And then he'll take Thermo like before a workout to give him the extra like energy boost.
Because I know, because I'm among the CrossFit gym, they take the pre-workout to make them feel jacked and ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they can do like,
So if you want that like energy boost feeling, Thermo. But you're gonna get the muscle mass and increased exercise endurance, and you'll feel a difference because I've taken New You and Thermo, and I do take Thermo before I work out as well. I can definitely tell a difference. Like if I go for a run, if I take the ThermoFit before, like 30 minutes before I run, or if I don't take it.
I have a question. Like, I use both the exfoliating peel and the facial mask, but I was just wondering, they seem like they do kind of similar things. Like, how would you explain the difference between the two as far as what they're supposed to do to your skin?
The exfoliator to me is more like taking away all the junk. You know what I mean? Like it's getting rid of it's cleaning out all your pores. It's taking those blackheads and shrinking them, and it's getting rid of the dead skin cells, and it's basically stripping all the junk off your face.
And that is
Right.
just be used a couple times a week, right?
Twice a week.
Twice
Yeah.
a week.
So the exfoliator is basically stripping all this crud off your face. The facial mask is more nourishing, toning, tightening, firming, hydrating your skin. I love using them together, and I almost always do use them together. Because I like to get that junk off and then put good, new, healthy, natural nourishment into my
So like the
skin.
same
Help
day
from
you
the
would
skin.
use the facial.
I do it back to back.
Okay.
Because the exfoliator makes my skin super dry. Because it cleans all that oil and all that crud off. You know what I mean? It gets rid of everything.
Yeah.
So I do the exfoliator. I do the cleanser. I exfoliate, and then I do a facial.
Okay.
Right back
That's
to
good
back.
to know.
That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I only do. I mean, I don't do a facial every day. I probably do that like once a week. I'll do you could do it twice a week or whatever. I don't know. But I do about once a week. I'll do the cleanser, exfoliator, and facial. I use my cleanser every day. And if I'm not doing the facial, then I'm doing the morning pre-vintage or the repairage. I didn't use the skincare right away. When I got started with the products, I was like supplements and stuff, and I kind of like used to stretch mark cream, that stretch marks. But like the facial stuff, I didn't really use right away. One, because I was kind of slowly getting into other products because of financial reasons. But also I was like, I don't really have wrinkles yet. I don't need to worry about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like, and the more I learned about it, I was like, I don't want to be using chemical-filled stuff from the store. I'd rather be using good stuff to help prevent wrinkles later on. You know what I mean? It's how good to prevent that stuff. But I've definitely noticed a difference in my skin. Just feeling healthier and not greasy and stuff like that. Any other product questions?
Okay, which one, Confianza or Sleepwise,
Sleep-wise.
that helps you stay asleep, and the New You helps you go to sleep, or is it the other one?
The Confianza helps you go to sleep. So Confianza for me helps me relax. I don't know about you, but I lay in bed at night and my brain's like, you know, like how many things do I still need to get done? I've got this huge list to do tomorrow. You know, you've got everything and anything running through your head. You know, it's like having a glass of wine before bed basically helps you kind of like. The New You helps you get into like that REM sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I've had some weird dreams. Vivid dreams. My dreams are more vivid, I think, when I take New You. Because I think I sleep like, you know, I sleep more soundly, yeah. And you wake up in the morning and you feel like you're rested. Yeah, I have some crazy dreams. Anyways, but
So the New You would help you stay in it.
stay in a deep sleep so that you're rested when you wake up the next morning. Yeah, so I always recommend New You. They don't feel rested anymore. If they're like, you know, wake up in the morning, they're like, I didn't get any sleep. You know what I mean? They're so exhausted when you wake up in the morning. Yeah. Any other product questions? No? Talk about a lot of stuff. All right. All right, loyal customer program. You know, keep it really simple. You don't need to get it complicated. This is how I always explain it. So I always talk about the products, and then I'll be like, you know, if you look at the products in your catalog, you'll notice there's two prices. There's a retail price and a loyal customer price. You have the option to purchase anything retail and pay full price, or you can purchase as a loyal customer and get my discount as a distributor. So you're getting 40 to 50% off. You're earning free products as a loyal customer, and it's free to be a loyal customer. Always point them to that green box that's on the back of the product catalog. It explains the loyal customer program. I'm a very visual person, so I like people to be able to look at something, you know what I mean, and read it, because that's how I understand things better. So you can look at the green box on the back, and I'll explain the loyal customer program a little bit more. But basically, it's free to be a loyal customer as long as you purchase at least one product a month for the first 3 months. It can be different products each month, and after the third month, you're going to have your loyal customer account for life. So you can always get back on and place orders whenever you want, and you still get your discount. Does that make sense? Keep it simple. Complicate things.
So I have a question about the free shipping.
Sure.
My sister, her 3 months was just up, and she was asking me, it has to be consecutive months, right? Like her free shipping would start her 4th month, correct?
Yes.
But if she takes a break her 4th month and then comes back, she still isn't going to customer with the discounts, but
she'll get the free shipping when she comes back on auto shipments. If she logs into her account and places an order, she'll be charged shipping.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So what I always tell people to do is I'm like, log in, set up an auto shipment to run tomorrow,
Right. Okay.
and then get on and turn it off if you don't want to keep running.
Yeah.
So that you get your free shipping. Or log in, use your cart points, and place an order, and then you're paying for shipping. You know what I mean?
You
And
have to wait to turn the auto shipment off. Like when you place the order, you have to wait so many hours to go turn it off so that.
Place the order, when you set it up, you're gonna set it up the auto shipment to run for the next day. So you need to wait until after it runs. So I normally would wait a day or two and then
You
turn
have
it
to
back
go
on.
in and make sure it actually says that it ran.
It'll run the next morning.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't like set up at midnight and then turn off at like 12:02.
Right.
I'd wait like 24 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you set it today for tomorrow, today's 15th, I would get back on the 17th and turn it off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a whole month once you're going to turn it off. You have a whole till the next whatever date to turn it off. Yeah. Okay. Any other loyal customer questions?
Yeah, I actually got a loyal customer that was someone else's loyal customer because the distributor she was under told her nothing and kept telling her lies of if she canceled her auto shipment, she was going to get charged a $50 membership fee after her 5th month of already being on there. So she wanted to cancel it with them and join me. She did that, but she has free shipping again. Is there any way to go around that? Or
No, if they cancel their account and start with a new distributor, they have to start the loyal customer program from the beginning, just like anybody else. Yeah, so if they change, they're starting over. But that's their choice if they want to do that. And I've had people do that. And some people go, I'll just stay with where I am, even though the person's not.
make sure you transfer your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, unfortunately not.
Okay, after a person like 3rd month was shipped and I tried to shut off their auto shipment and told me that it wasn't able to do it. You know how much longer you have to wait?
It'll still tell you they're going to charge you the $50, but they won't charge it.
Yeah, it just told me that we're unable to process this. Call customer service.
I don't know why I told you that. Just call customer service. Yeah, I've never gotten that before. So. Yeah. Call customer service or submit a ticket. You guys all know how to submit tickets. If you go to support on your eSuite and submit a ticket. And basically you just type in the information of whatever your question is. And then within normally a day or two, you can go back on there and see the response to your ticket. When customer service is really busy and you can't get through to them, that's a good way to get stuff done. Or if I have a loyal customer upgrade to being a distributor, I'll sign them up as a distributor, and then I go on and I submit a ticket and say, this loyal customer with this account number and name upgraded to be a distributor with this account number, and then I'll get a response and they'll say, okay, loyal customer account canceled. Congrats on your new teammate or something like that.
I do like everything for tickets.
Yeah, I do almost everything.
Easier for me.
I do almost everything for tickets too, if I can. Okay. We'll move on to the other side of our party pad. Just join the party. Someday we're all going to be in this picture. This picture is from Dash, which is the called Dash to Destination. It's for the top. It used to be top 100 income earners. Now it's the top 75 income earners, and they get an all expense paid retreat weekend of fun. So, like I said, this was last year. I stayed at that place, wherever that place is in Florida. All right, so steps to success. First, join the party, right? $99 to get started. They can't see it. It's too big of a glare. Okay, $99 to get started. And it comes, the pack is awesome now. Who here is new enough that they got the new awesome pack with the 3 defining gels or 4 defining gels? I'm so jealous of that.
Me too. I'm like trying to boost mine to get them to find.
I know, mine didn't have any cool stuff. Just get it. But I got the 4 wraps, and the 4 wraps is really what's important because when you get those 4 wraps, you can sell them $25 each and get your $100 back, right? So you can basically start this business for free, which is absolutely incredible. That's one of the absolute favorite things about this company is that they are a debt-free company and they like encouraging you to be debt-free and also giving you options and ways of becoming debt-free by starting this business without really any money out of your pocket. You can either pre-sell the wraps or buy the starter kit and then sell the 4 wraps so you get your money back. Super awesome. And you get those defining gels, which I've heard you can sell those for $10 a piece. Yeah, that's an extra $40. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So, when you complete, the first step, I didn't finish that. First step, also with that, you want to sign up to be a distributor for $99. You also, at that time, want to make sure you set up your ADDV auto shipment. Very important. This is going to make you commission qualified. It's also going to get you bonus qualified. And you've got to run that within your first 30 days to qualify for fast start bonuses. And fast start bonuses are awesome. Fast start bonuses can be a couple $100 a month, right? From sign up distributors. It can be more than that. I think the most distributors I've signed up in 1 month was 13. It's an extra $1,300. That was last February or something. $1,300. Like, that's a lot of money, right? So if I wasn't fast start qualified, I would have gotten all the extra money. Plus, if you're completing your steps to success, that's an extra $300 a month. I mean, I signed up for an extra $300 a month. So being fast start qualified is very important, and bonus qualified. And by running the auto ship every month, you're qualified for those bonuses, fast start bonuses, as well as the Ruby bonus and the good bonuses and all the other bonuses that they are. Crazy company. Okay. Wrap rewards. So you sell those 4 wraps. You wrap 4 people, and they all sign up as loyal customers, which is awesome. So now you've gotten 4 loyal customers. You've earned $120 of free product, and you start getting wraps for $25 a box. So every time you sign up 2 customers, you get a box of wraps for $25. You can sell those wraps for $25 each. So that's $100 a box. That's $75 profit. And I love that because that $75 we call wrap cash, right? And the wrap cash is nice. You guys have left parties or gone places and come home with wrap cash. We were driving after a conference this year. My husband and I were driving to Vermont, and I met a lady in the gas station, and she bought 2 wraps on the spot, and it paid for our gas. It's also for our trip to Vermont. I was like, yeah, $50. This is awesome. Filled up the car. So you never know when you're gonna make the extra cash. So always keep wraps in your purse on hand. Yes, wrap cash is awesome, and wrap cash from parties is awesome. So the first way we make money is the wrap cash. Second way we make money is with those loyal customers. You're going to get commission off of all of them. Third way we make money is when you help friends get started in the business. You're going to get those fast start bonuses I was just mentioning. For every 1 person that you help get started, you get a $100 bonus. When you help 3 friends get started, it's going to help you get to our Ruby level, which is on average about $500 a month. So an extra $500 in commissions, plus right now that we have that $500 bonus, which is super awesome as well. A lot of people taking advantage of that. So I'm going to go over charting a little bit. This is why I have my cool whiteboard. I'm sorry, screen people, you're going to be on a lot. So left-handed. I'm gonna set this one. I just can't do it left-handed. I'm sorry. Does everybody have a Ruby chart that they've printed out and filled in? If not, you should have one. And there's some there. And I really like those. Those are on our team page because they have the 30-day mark, so you know when you need to get your 4 customers for your free product. Those charts also have our Ruby bonus time on it. So every time I sign up a distributor, I actually print one of those out for them and I fill it in for them. And I have it hanging behind my computer so that I know when they need their 4 customers by and when they need to reach their Ruby by to get their bonus. So I can kind of keep track of how close they are. So, you know, if they got 1 more month and they only need 2 more distributors or they only need some volume or whatever it is, I can be like, hey, you're super close. You just need this, you know. Or if they're getting close to their 30 days and they just need 1 more loyal customer, I'm like, you only need 1 more customer. Like, don't miss this. You know, you're going to get your free product. So I like keeping track of that for my new distributors and helping remind them where they are to get their bonuses and free product and all that stuff. Okay. So Ruby, this is you. Your name's now Ruby. You need 3 distributors under you, and one of them needs to have 2. Right? Is anybody in here Ruby? I know I have 2. You're Ruby. You're Ruby. Anybody else? Okay. We're working on it. You'll get there. Don't worry. So Ruby, this could be your sister, your best friend, and your mom, or your husband. You do that too. You can sign up your spouse. I know some people do that. And then your best friend's sister and husband, or whoever it is. And then each person needs to have their customers and have their volume. The volume actually has to be at 400. 400 in volume. 400 in volume. If you have 4 loyal customers, buy the skinny pack. And you run your ADBV auto, that's 400. So
Say that again?
if you have 4 customers
Uh-huh.
they each bought the skinny pack. And I have a lot of people start with the skinny pack. It's an awesome pack to get started with. I always encourage it. If they all buy the skinny pack and you run your auto shipment, you're at 400.
Okay.
That gets you at 400. So that's not much, right? 4 people, 4 customers. So yeah, so that gets you to your 400. So then you're considered a qualified leg, right? So that's Ruby. Any questions about that? Our first promotion rank is executive, and that is this person here will be executive. Colors and this is fun. They're executive. And it just means that they have 2 distributors with their 400 in volume and everything. Questions?
I have a question. So if your husband is like one of your distributors at any point, he'll count even though he's at the same address, or what would he not count for?
You're allowed to have one. You're allowed to have your spouse.
You're allowed to have your spouse. So like, what if you're going for like the diamond bonus or something?
Doesn't matter.
You still have your spouse at
My
the
husband's one of the distributors. Micah is a diamond. And he will be one of the diamonds for me to go triple.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He can be. Now, I waited until I reached diamond level to sign him up. I regret that. I wish I'd signed him up when I was like Ruby or...
That's what I was wondering, like, when would be beneficial for me to sign like my husband up?
Yeah. And I'll tell you why I wish I had done it then. You only need 5 people on your top line to go diamond.
Right.
And every level after that, you only need people on your top line.
Okay.
So and your husband has to stay on your top line. You cannot place him under somebody else. We understand placements and stuff like that. Okay. You cannot place him. So Micah would end up being my 6th person on my top line.
Okay.
Makes sense. So if I had signed him, say when I was Ruby, and then signed him as this person over here, right? He would have been my 4th. And then I could have built him a Ruby to help me get to Emerald.
Right.
I know I would have started receiving his paycheck then, but I waited until I was Diamond. Now, I always say, do it whenever you can afford the auto ship, because now you're running 2 auto shipments.
Right.
And you're also getting 2 paychecks. And it also depends a little bit, I think, too, is how fast are you signing distributors. Have you already signed a couple distributors and building yourself to Ruby, you could sign your husband here and then place 2 under him. So he's your executive for your Ruby. And I have a lot of people who do that as well. It just depends on how quick you're enrolling and stuff like that. The other thing I always recommend when you're signing your spouse is don't sign your husband up and then a week later you still haven't signed any loyal customers or anything. I signed Micah up after I had a big event one weekend. Like I did a big event and I had like 8 loyal customers. I signed him up and placed all those customers under him. Well, I got my 123 product and my fast start bonus off of him the same day I signed him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do it right after a big party, right after an event. Do it when you have 2 or 3 loyal customers
Okay.
that you're enrolling. Now, you can't enroll the customer and then enroll him because then you can't move them to him, even if it's within 5 minutes. You have to enroll the distributor first, right? You have to enroll the distributor before the customers.
Okay. That's good to know.
They have to be in the system before, But yes, so that's the way I did it. And then I got my free product, my $100 back right away. So basically, I signed him up for free. It was $99 sign him up, and then I got my money back.
Yeah.
So, any other questions about that? Any questions about charting? Charting's kind of a crazy thing, especially as you get going. It gets crazier. Okay, so
The E-Suite has a
charting
whole
data.
bunch, of charting stuff that I feel like that would be like a whole other topic in and of itself. You know what I mean?
I like the charting beta system. It's new.
Is there any tutorials or anything that you can refer me to on how to do the charting data?
I should make a video. The charting beta.
You just go on and you just do it.
Yeah, I like it because it tells me what all these distributors' volume is.
Yeah.
So I can get on there and look and see right away how close someone is to promoting.
Right.
For example, I had Audrey's chart on there already done.
Mhm.
And so when she was going to Ruby, I got on there and looked when we were talking about it. I'm like, well, how close are you? And I just pulled it up and it already told me everyone's volume. And I was like, oh my gosh, you only need like 2 customers. Like you're right there. You know what I mean? Because there's just that much volume.
I felt like it would take me longer to figure it out. Like you do it.
Well, it takes a lot longer when you're like adding them all up and looking up all the separate distributors, but the charting data, the information's there. So you go in and you add whoever you're charting for, whether it's yourself or somebody else. And then you add in the people under them and you just search their name and they pop up and it goes to the box and then the system automatically puts in what their volume is for that time of that month.
Right.
So if it's the middle of the month, the volume's not going to be there until all the auditors run it.
Does your husband sell a lot, or does he just kind of?
I run the majority of his business. He does a lot of referrals to me, but I actually am the one actively running his business for the most part.
Do you place customers under other people more dominant other than him?
I do not really keep any customers. I place most of my customers for
Why did
promotion,
you start doing that?
for promotion reasons.
Like, was it after you were not consecutive?
Okay.
It's probably a long time ago. Like
So, no, I did it from the get-go. So the first couple distributors that I signed up, a couple of them did something, and some of them didn't really do much of anything. You know what I mean? Like they weren't signing their own customers.
Mhm.
So I placed all of my customers for me to get through Ruby. Like I did all of it. Filled in, well, not all of it. There was, like I said, I think I had 2 distributors who were signing some
So you
customers.
just did your auto ship. And then
I ran my auto ship and I placed customers on everybody to get my promotion. And then I kept signing distributors, and no one really did much of anything. Some of them signed. There was like 1 or 2 who were signing customers, but other than that, the rest of them weren't doing much, and none of them were really signing distributors. So then I was in the business for 5 months before I signed a distributor, and she was my 13th distributor I signed. that actually signed another distributor or started actually building business.
Yeah.
So I was like, I felt like I was treading water. Does that make sense? I was like going, and like nothing wasn't taking off. Because you're watching these people around you, and everyone's like, business is exploding. They're signing all these people, you know, and you're like, I'm just like going, and it's not happening. But then finally, when I signed that person who started working their business, and I signed a couple other people who started working their business, I went from Ruby, and I was like struggling to stay Ruby, to Double Diamond in 3 months. So I just kept, like I said, kind of going at until you finally find a few people who are going to work the business with you, and then your business can explode. Make sense? So I was placing my customers.
As soon as you got that distributor, you just
Start placing. Well, for a couple things. Number one, every time I sign a distributor, I'm gonna get my $100 bonus. I do not let a distributor go without getting my $100 bonus. I've signed probably like 60 some distributors. I've only missed 2 fast start bonuses in the last 2 years because that's my $100. You know what I mean? like I worked hard for that $100. And when I first got started, like that's where a lot of my income came from. You know what I mean? So I was gonna make sure I got my $100 bonus. So when I signed them up, I made sure they had at least 2 loyal customers. After that, I would place loyal customers to help fill these boxes to get my promotions. Makes sense.
What happens to, say you sign a distributor and then you place loyal customers, or say they got loyal customers, however they got them, they have them. What happens if they drop off? Who gets the commission? Do they just kind of float in the air? Do they kind of drop down to you?
If the distributor stops, if a distributor stops, commission compresses, which means those loyal customers are not going to be on your top line, but you're going to get paid on them as if they were on your top line. Does that make sense? Or a line up, depending on where that is that distributor canceled at. Make sense? Yeah. Starting questions.
Who does it go to? Like if another distributor places a distributor under, like if she were to place another distributor like under me, and that distributor would stop, like does it go to me or does it go to them?
It would go to you first because it goes based on the level.
Okay.
And distributors, no matter where you place your distributor, you're going to get the fast start bonuses because you're the personally enrolled. Now, the level of commission you get off of them will vary. The farther you place them down, the lower the commission you get. So you always want to place higher versus lower. But I've placed fairly low for promotion purposes. You know, you need 1 or 2 more spots, and you're going to place somebody there so you can promote. Because you get higher, you get paid higher. The more you promote, the higher you get. The more commission you're going to get off your customers and distributors and all the volume and everything, right? Okay. Any other charting questions? You should have a Ruby chart at home. Even if you're like, there don't be distributors on my team, it doesn't matter. You should still have a Ruby chart and be thinking about who you would want to work with the business. And that type of thing. Okay. All right, so levels, Ruby. Ruby is like the first, well, no, executive is the first level. But Ruby, every level, all the way up to ambassador and double ambassador, which no one's a double ambassador yet, but every level is based off of that Ruby chart, okay? So if you can understand that, and if you can do that, if you can teach other people to do that, you'll get to ambassador. That's all it is. It's a bunch of rubies, a whole bunch of rubies. That's why they have this Ruby bonus, because that's what our entire compensation plan is based off of, is helping people get to that Ruby level. So if you can do that, you can go the whole way to the top. So Emerald is just having 2 people on your team get to Ruby. Diamond is having 1 person as an Emerald, which is 2 rubies, and 1 person is Ruby. So that's basically just 3 rubies on your team and you're a Diamond. Not much, doesn't take much. Right? Just kind
And
of
you went from executive to diamond in 3 months or ruby to diamond? Which did you say?
it was ruby, but that month I was actually paid as executive because not everyone had the vault to go do it.
Yeah.
Because I distributed it.
Yeah.
So I basically went from, well, I had 4 distributors. So I went from 4 distributors to double diamond from January to April.
That's incredible.
It's crazy. And people have done it faster.
Yeah, I know. That's so crazy.
So I will tell you to do that.
This was a year.
This is for you.
Just for a year. Yeah. To do that,
Sorry. I saw that. No, it's okay.
yes.
Sorry. I was just trying to follow along.
No, it's okay. To do that, I took 3 months and I told my husband. My husband was not supportive of this business whatsoever. He was telling me to quit and go get a full-time job because this was a scam. And every time I sat at a party, he would go, ugh, okay. And every time I would stay up late and not go to bed at the same time as him, he'd be like, ugh, and he'd like slam the door shut. You know, like, because our office, the light kind of shines into our bedroom. So he was just like, ugh. So I got all this grief from him. And then I spent all this money and went to conference. I was just like, we can't afford this for you to go to conference. We really couldn't afford it at all. I put it all on the credit card. Not something I suggest, although it was worth it.
It worked out, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out. But I did it, put it on the credit card. And then maxed out the credit card to get to conference. So then I got down there and I had like $100 to spend on food for the weekend. And I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for my hotel room, because we split hotel rooms. But I got 2 fast start bonuses, and that helped kind of cover everything for me. I had actually baggied up Profit so I could eat at conference, because I was like, I can't afford, all my meals. But I didn't tell anybody I was with because I was like, I don't know how tight your situation is. I'm just gonna do this and it'll be fine. I ended up sick and throwing up half the time, so then it kind of saved me some meals. Worked out.
But it wasn't because she ate the puppy.
But it wasn't the perfect. It was my husband and kids were homesick too, so we had to share the bug before I went down. So that was kind of a rough time, but I went to conference, and I do, like, guys, start saving up now, because I don't know what it was. And one of the things I guess that really sticks out to me is I remember getting there and seeing like this huge VIP section of all these people that were presidential ambassador. And I was like, there's not like 3 ambassadors? You know what I mean? There's not only 3 people making that kind of money. Like, I thought that was just like, the top. No, there was like 50 some people making that kind of money. And now there's probably close to 100 ambassadors in the company. And there was another 100 or whatever presidentials, and then triple diamonds and double, and all these people. And I was like, there's a lot of people making a lot of money in this room. And I was like, and there's 10,000 people here. I was like, all those people can do this, and maybe I can too. And they announced this $10,000 diamond bonus, and I told my husband, I'm like, I get a $10,000 bonus. And he was like, whatever. He was like, okay, babe. He didn't believe me, so I came home and I was like, I need 3 months where you are going to watch the kids, and I'm going to do parties, and I'm going to stay up late, and I am going to not do the dishes, and I'm not going to do the laundry, and I'm not going to cook, and you're just going to have to, like, just give me 3 months. He was like, okay. He's like, but it doesn't work, you're quitting. And I was like, okay. I was like, this has to work, because I was being forced to quit. And I went double diamond and got 25,000 bonuses. So you just have to, like, literally, it was, I had 3 parties on a Saturday, and I would do events, and it was nonstop. I would miss friends' birthday parties. I would miss outings with the girls and all those other things. I put everything else aside, and like, this is all I did. Those 3 months changed my life and made me a stay-at-home mom. So if you can give that kind of focus for a month, for 2 months, like, it'll completely change everything, right? Change your life. So it's just a matter of being determined enough to focus that much, just a little bit of time. Make sense? Change everything. So yes. So I'm double diamond. Micah is now Diamond. He just promoted to Diamond and got a $20,000 bonus. And he should be getting to double soon. We're getting really close. So that is what we were working on. And then triple, right?
So is he working on his retirement?
Working on it. That's my next goal. I know. Well, we've got a lot of school loans that we have to finish off first. That's the first. That's the first thing.
You're so much more ahead than you would have been if you,
So
you know.
if I hadn't gotten into this business, I would not be a stay-at-home mom. I'd be working full time. I'd be missing out on all sorts of time with my kids, right? I would not be home with them at all. We would be paying minimum payments on our school loans for the next 20 years.
Mhm.
And now my goal is to have our school loans paid off next year. So 20 years of school loans, one more year of school loan, it's a big difference. And also just working on a lot of other financial goals of just having a savings account. We never had a savings before because we never had any money to have a savings. And those are important things to have savings and to be able to do things with your kids and your family and not financially strained because of it. So knowing your why, this is a great kind of point to get into that. Knowing why you want to do this business and why it's important to you is extremely important as well. 7:20. You okay? Your head. Okay. I'm a little green socks. And knowing your why is really important. So I decided I wanted to go double diamond because I knew if I was diamond, that was enough for me to stay home full time with the kids. But financially, like that would have put us really tight. You know what I mean? Like that was, I could be home. I was like, double diamond, I could be home and be comfortable. We could have a little extra to pay off our school loans a little faster and that type of thing, or to pay for the car if it broke down, things like that. So I was like, double diamond was my goal, and I pushed hard for it. But I had a reason that was more than money. It was my children. I was tired of watching other people raise my kids. I wanted to be the one raising them. And it's important to have a why like that, to have a reason that is so important to you that it brings tears to your eyes. Because there are times in this business, there are days that I get up and I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. Like I'm tired of following up with these people. I'm tired of them not responding to me. I'm tired of just doing it. I just want to break, but having a reason, a why like that is going to push you forward. It's going to push you to success, and you need that to succeed. So I encourage you, if you do not have a why, figure it out. And I encourage you to write it out in detail. I want to make an extra $500 a month. Why do you want to make $500 a month? Why do you want to get to the Ruby level? What does that do for your family? What does it do for you as a person? And then also your why's gonna have to change. And that's something that I think took me a while. I've been double diamond for a little over a year now. But I've been home with my kids. I've reached my why, if that makes sense. So then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, I've gotta figure out what I'm gonna do now. Why do I want to get to triple diamond? Why do I need more money than I'm already making? Because right now I'm making enough that we're comfortable. We don't have a ton of excess, extra money and stuff like that, but we're comfortable enough that we can travel a little bit and we can put some into savings and whatever, and pay off some of our debt. So then you have to change your why to figure out, what's the next? Why do I want to get to the next level? Do I want to get to the next level? And it's got to be more than, I'd like to pay off the rest of our school loans. That's not enough for me. I need something to drive me past that. So, any thoughts? Anybody want to share anything?
I was just gonna say that, like every once in a while I'll have a bad day or something, or somebody, some customer will be like, the wraps didn't work for me, and I'm like, what? And then, but anyways, what I was gonna say is any other job I've had in the past, like I have more bad days. Like it's like a lot more brutal than this.
Yeah. Yes. It's a lot more bad days, and the good days aren't nearly as good.
Right. Like those days that you sign up with a bunch of little customers and you just like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Or the days where you promote. Like, how
Yeah.
exciting is that, right? That's so exciting. That's such a cool thing. Anyone else? Any questions? So along with knowing your why, like, I had a lot of reasons why this business couldn't have worked. You know, my husband was not a big fan of the idea, but was kind of like, eh. And then the whole time I was doing it was like, you know. As soon as I posted on Facebook, my brother told me I was hacked and that it was a scam and all this stuff. And I had to call him and be like, stop posting on my page that it's a scam. I'm trying to pay my school notes. Like I said, I was super shy. I didn't want to do parties. Not outgoing, so I was not going to be out blitzing people. I was terrified of anything like that. Terrified to do events and those things. So I had all these reasons. I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about sales or anything about home businesses. Super unorganized. A lot of reasons for not to work. I was crazy busy because when I started this, I was actually taking classes in college and still working, and had a 1-year-old and 2-year-old at home. Had a lot going on, which didn't help with my husband not being such a fan of it. So the odds were against me, but it really only takes one good reason to make it work. I mean, you can have 1,000 reasons why it shouldn't work. It takes one good reason, just that why, and you can make it work. So just gotta have that one good reason.
I think a lot of us are using it.
That's
To try to
amazing.
know,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
When I moved back up here, I didn't want to have to find another job and go back to work. And I was only working part-time, so I knew that, like, okay, well, if I make this much money minus, you know, the couple hundred that I'm paying in childcare, then it's basically evening out, you know,
Yeah.
and saving the gas up to Williamsport and back every day.
Yeah.
You know, factoring that in, and then, you know, what you get deposited plus a little extra cash, which I never had cash in my wallet before. Getting wrapped on hands or do wrap cash. Like, I never had cash, and now I have cash, and like, it's definitely so worth it. To stay
It's fun having a little extra cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I've gone for coffee with somebody or
Yeah.
something
Right.
like
And all
"Oh, I
those
got
little
25
things
bucks."
add
Yeah.
up. Like, before this, I remember being like, okay, trying to remember, like, last time I logged into my bank account online, it was like this much. Okay, so I'm going to swipe my card. I hope that nothing else came out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I'm like trying to figure like that, and now it's like, oh, I have some cash.
Yeah, oh, here's cash. I have to think about what's in my bank account. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I've
Done.
played that game.
Just do it.
Checked it on my phone many times.
And it's also
Don't be
encouraging to
red.
hear that, you know, not everyone's husbands are so into it at first, because it is a little
Most-
bit daunting, because you don't know.
A lot of
if you're one supporter and like not supporting you. Right. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do now?
yeah, and Micah.
Mine's still on the fence, and I've been in it months, you know.
Yeah.
It's still-
Well, Micah, even after I was double diamond and making double diamond income, and he was seeing those paychecks, he was still like, is this really gonna last though? Like, he might be making this money right now, but are you gonna make it, you know, in 2 months? Like,
Yeah.
So then he's like,
And it just-
now he's like, okay, I see you can make the money, but are you gonna keep the money, you know? So then he's questioning that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm with you. So I drug him to a corporate event, and corporate events really do let you see the bigger picture. And your spouse, let your spouse see the bigger picture. So drag them along, definitely. I took Micah to Green Carpet just last summer, and that was just before I hit 1 year with the business. And that really kind of turned him around so that he was supportive. He was like, okay, he's like, these guys aren't working and their wives make all this money and they get to own their own breweries and like do cool stuff. They like own gyms and things. He's like, I want to do that. Like, that sounds better than my job. You know, like they can have like fun jobs, you know, do what they want. He's like, I want to do something like that. And so then he was a little bit more on board. But then really taking him to conference, he was all in. And after going to conference, he was blitzing people. And he was messaging people on Facebook and going, hey, Bonnie, got somebody that's interested, you know. And he would send them to me, and then I would sign them up, you know. So it's kind of like our tag team thing. But it did take a year over a year. Like I said, even with me making the money, he was still like, not so sure. The money, guys,
And that's their job too, a little, I think.
men, yeah, and men, the money, when they see the money, that normally helps change their tune a little bit. So if you can be like, just depends, some husbands are a lot more supportive than others, which is good, it's nice when they are. But if they're not, if they see the money coming in, they'll start to back off a little bit. But you're just gonna have to hustle too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Work until when they start seeing that, they're like,
To
oh,
be able to put what you need into it, to put
Yeah.
to be able to get to that.
yeah. And you know, and other times, like I had a friend.
My friend, so I'm already trying to figure, because I'm really interested.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure, how can I get my $99 startup thing, where I'm not going to impact, like,
Yes.
because right now I'm not working at all.
Right.
I have one income.
So a little extra
How
money.
can I,
So
so how can I come up with my $99 that is not going to impact?
your budget, right?
It's not going to impact the budget. So where can I get that
So
money from?
yeah,
So now I'm trying to, so
Yeah,
right now that's my goal. How do I get to the $99 without impacting my family?
and I have a
Because I
lot
don't
of
want to impact my family in order to do
Right.
this, because that's, I think,
yeah.
that's not going to help me.
No, I understand that, and I have a lot of people who start that way. I've had people where they do spend their like grocery money or whatever it is, but then they make
See,
sure.
I'm not going
What?
to do that.
No. But listen, but then they
Because
make
my
sure.
kids, I want to make sure I can feed my kids.
No, but then they turn around and they make sure they have those 4 wraps sold.
Yeah, before.
Right, like, you know what I mean, so that they get their money back like that. You know what I mean, so that they can kind of replace that before they even have to worry about
I've already
it.
thought about that too. Who could I?
Yes. So pre-selling those
Okay.
4 wraps, you know, collecting $25, $99 first.
I
I've had people sell something like a yard or have a yard sale to come up with the money. I mean,
sell something on eBay.
sell something on eBay. Yeah, people do all kinds of stuff. They're like, okay, $99. What do I have that's worth that? Or what, you know, what multiple things do I have that can come up with $99?
That's funny. At CrossFit, I made a birthday announcement for 2 of my friends, and they paid me $10 each. So I have $25.
Yeah, see?
$25. I have said $25 and my $99.
Yeah, so yeah. So like, people do all kinds of things to come up with it, babysit or whatever it is.
In one of the parties, like before I was a distributor, I won a wrap, so I turned that around and sold that one and put that back, like what you're saying, and just
Yeah.
like add to it, add into it.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's all sorts of ways to do it.
Because that'll definitely help your husband be able to
Right.
get on board. If he knows that it's
It's not
not
impacting
that
him.
$100
Yeah.
from something else.
And my husband was keeping track.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
So
He was
yeah,
like,
I
all right, you spent $99 to get started.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like how much I spent. Yeah, he was like, how much did you spend?
I got
Versus-
an hour lecture before I come here. Before I came here about like making sure that I didn't sign up, that I didn't spend anybody, that I didn't do anything before he goes, you're just going to listen. I said, yeah, I'm going to go listen. But the whole time I'm not telling him that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I'm coming up with my head.
Yeah. And that's
But I'm not telling him. So I
so
said,
you
yeah,
have it.
this is where I got my $100. This is how I got it.
Yep.
I'm going to invest.
Yeah, it's my $100 that I can invest in.
I
Yeah.
didn't take it from anywhere.
And there are tons of stories from top income earners in the company and people who did that or who have pre-sold the 4 wraps and then have run their entire business without ever spending $1 of their family's income. You know, it's all been money from the business back into the business to kind of keep from affecting any family.
Like I get a box of wraps, and then you sell that, and it's already covered your business expense.
Right, yeah, right, the
You
profit.
can't like any other business and have
Right.
you know, like
Right.
you're paying rent or you're paying whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overhead costs. Yes.
My husband says we should do a lip sync video.
Oh, fun.
Did you guys see that Margaret asked,
Yeah.
like, challenge everybody?
probably a lot. There's Brian Bruman did one, and it was phenomenal.
Oh, was it?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
So the company's fun also.
Yeah, they're
And
crazy.
the CEO just challenged people to do lip sync contests. Like, so video recording yourself doing a lip sync thing, and then they might play it or something at a conference, or if any of the big ones that make a lot of,
Yeah.
that are really good, they might replay it for people to see. But anyway, it's just something fun that they do. There's a lot of practice.
Did you see he just bought an island?
I saw that. I did see
Okay.
that, but woohoo, we're treating them.
That's what he said. They're planning like future events and things for on the island. It'll probably be like that top
Right now it's
dash thing.
Yes. It's a golf, it used to be a golf.
Yeah, he bought a golf course with cash 2 years ago. Company originated in Michigan. 3 years ago. I guess almost 3 years ago because it was the year before I started. Almost 3 years ago, they bought a golf course with cash and remodeled the building and made a big corporate headquarters, which they say rivals the Google headquarters. There's a slide, there's a pool, there's like all kinds of fun, crazy stuff there. Yeah, so I get to tour that next week, which I'm really excited to do. Yeah, when we go down for. I guess we can. Oh, there's a viewer. Hi, viewer. Sorry, we're just sort of chatting. All right. Any other questions? Anything? I think we covered everything. Okay. Bye. Thank you for attending. I'm gonna stop this broadcast.